What's up, guys? It's Rahul from the Chaos Gym. Welcome back, guys. Just got back from Anaheim. It's probably been like 2 hours since I got off my flight, got home. Decided to make this video probably before I freshen up and get some school stuff done. Before I forget and my memory fades because I'm an old man. But I just got back from Anaheim Regionals, where if you didn't know, I managed to finish in the top 8, which is pretty awesome of a huge event. I'm going to do a couple shoutouts before I start, and then as I go into it, I'll explain my process of how the tournament went. I'll just run you through everything like a report. So huge shout out to everybody who stayed with me this weekend. You guys were amazing, all my friends. Huge shout out to Israel Sosa for letting me crash his place on Thursday night. Huge shout outs to Pablo and Dennis, the Yellow Solo, for hanging out, saying hi, what's up. I always love seeing Pablo. It was great meeting Dennis for the first time. And yeah, I'm gonna jump into it. So if you guys watch my what to expect for this event video, I talked a lot about Speed Dark, Volcanion, Mewtwo, that kind of stuff, and bees. But as the event got closer, as I got there, I was also pretty shaky on my top 3. Like I said, I had Water Box, bees, and Mega Ray sleeved up. But I jumped off Mega Ray pretty quickly. I didn't feel comfortable in the deck. I felt like it was too susceptible to Garbodor, so I jumped off that. And I came down to just Water Box and Bees, which are 2 decks I've been playing for quite a while now, so I felt very, very comfortable with both my options. And I felt like they could both go far into the tournament for me. But then I heard a lot of hype surrounding Mewtwo, especially from the good players in my room. A lot of people were considering Mewtwo to beat all of the new ability stuff, the new janky stuff that comes out all loses to Garbodor plus Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is just consistent and standard. And I'm not going to lie, they almost convinced me to switch to Mewtwo the night of, but because of that, their movements toward Yveltal and Mewtwo, I was inclined to go Bees over Water Box, because Water Box, while Garb isn't awful for it, Garb is still negative, and I don't like having that. So I proceeded to pick up Bees, put in huge shout out to Azul for telling me to pretty much cut a Klefki to put in a Mew. The night before we were talking and we both decided that was probably a good idea, so I put a Mew in, especially for Mewtwo, just having a flex attacker for something. And then the morning of, I walked around, I didn't really see any grass archetypes that I should be worried about, so I cut the Flareon that I had and put in a Jolteon, because I just wanted 28th Pokemon and I was gonna go second Vaporeon, but I didn't have the cards. My bad. So it worked out. So round one, I play against. I don't remember names, so I'm just gonna say I play against I'm gonna go with Dex. I played against Volcanion, and game one, I lost. It was very, very close. It just came down to me having tools that I needed prized. Game two, I was able to get a lot. I had to go aggressive. I had the 2 Combies prize, I think, and so I went ultra aggressive, discarded everything I had to try to get knockouts, and no, I had 3 Combi prize. That's right. So what happened was I had to go ultra aggressive to get a knockout. So I was able to take a knockout with the Vespiquen on a Volcanion, a baby Volcanion, and he killed that, and then I revitalizer and was able to take another knockout on a baby Volcanion. Did not get a Combi in that either. So I had 4 prizes left, 3 Combis. He knocks that out, and so now I am out of, I think, Revitalizer as well. But I had a Zoroark, so I was able to Lysander a Shaman and knock out that Shaman with Zoroark, pulling 2 Combis off my prizes, putting 2 Combis on my bench, pretty much saying this is game. In game 3, I was able to get like a turn 2 Vaporeon, and I was just swinging, and he couldn't do anything about it. I won in a matter of turns. So I'm 1-0. I'm feeling pretty good, saying hi to everybody. Round 2, I went up against Mega Mewtwo Garbodor. My opponent pops off turn 1, doesn't bench a Trubbish. So I do my entire turn 1, get a Mew out, and knock him out. And then he does some stuff, passes. I knock him out, and I knock him out. It was very quick, 3 or 4 turns. And then game 2 was effectively the same thing. I took 2 prizes with Mew. He gets a Garbodor out. I sack the Mew, and then I set up my Vespiquens to take 2 one-shots. He had benched 2 Shamans already, so I had Lysandered a Shaman, and then I just Lysandered another Shaman, and the game was pretty much over. Round 3, I played against another Mega Mewtwo Garb, Chris Collins this time. Game 1, I pretty much almost donked his lone Mewtwo with my Mew, going second. And then he pretty much couldn't set up behind me just running extremely well against Mewtwo, and the Mew stuck for a while. And then game two, I was going second. I think I took a knockout on a Mew EX, on Mewtwo EX, and then he whiffed the Garbodor. I think. So he had the scatter shot knockout by Mew. Yes, that was it. He had to scatter shot it, and then I had 170 in the discard to knock out his Mewtwo, which didn't wasn't mega, so I did that, and then the game was over effectively at that point. So 3-0, feeling pretty awesome. Mewtwo's, as I found out, a very favorable matchup for me. Round four, I hit Eeveelution Garb. Game one, I set up properly, do everything I need, and then I roll him. Game two, my prizes were very bad that game. I think I drew past and lost in 2 or 3 turns. And then game three, I set up perfectly with Zoroark's Jolteon, everything on my board. And he didn't get a Garb. He chose not to go for a Garb, and I was able to roll him very quickly in that game. It was a very quick one. I'm sorry, 4-0. Round five, I go up against Finnegan Lynch. He has a site over at Cutter Tap, so check that out. He was playing Vespiquen, but his build was very different. I knew about it because I knew another friend playing it, and he talked to me about it, and I disagree with a lot of things in the build, but it was pretty genius the way he decided to go with it. He was playing Vespiquen, Zoroark, Herdier. Herdier, if you guys didn't know, is when you evolve it, stage 1, you get an item card from a discard and put it in your hand. I know there's a Milotic which does it better, it gets any item, but Milotic's basic Feebas only has 30 HP, and if you're considering um, Umbreon GX to be a big factor, which I also considered Umbreon GX to be a big factor for the weekend. Feebas was bad because it just dies. It's another free prize on the bench. He played Parallels and Paint Roller, so he would parallel himself and then Paint Roll it away. So he would no detriment to himself, which was pretty cool. If you hit the combo like he did every time. So game one was me whiffing a knockout when I should have, and it came down to I scooped very early because I knew I was behind on the trade and I could win. Game two, he scooped very early because he knew he was behind on the trade and he couldn't win. Game three came down to him Sycamoring and having to have a special charge left in the deck, and if he did, he wins. If he didn't, he loses, and he did. So, he won. But it was it was a very close game. Great games, Finn. If you're watching this, I don't know if you will. 4-1 now, feeling pretty shaky. But there's a lot of favorable matchups at the top tables. Round five, 6 I paired against Mega Rayquaza, Metal friends. So I pretty much 2-0 this matchup because of my Jolteon paired with Zoroark and Vespiquen. I can just one shot, and the Klefki is just I just kept Klefkiing the Jolteon. He was like, okay, sick. So I 2-0'd that very quickly because Mega Rayquaza is probably one of the most favorable matchups. Easily one of the most favorable matchups. Round 7, I go up against Igor. Igor Costa playing Eeveelution Garb. So yeah, if you guys don't know who Igor is, you've been living under a rock because Igor is probably one of the most accomplished players in this game. He finished first, second, and top 4 at Worlds previously, and he's a very good player. This season itself, he's finished with 2 top 8s and a finals of regionals, I want to say. So he has been putting in work this season as well. With I think the exact same Mewtwo list, but he played Eeveelution with the Storm, which just shocked me as well. Game one, I set up a Jolteon just for nonchalance to make him force the Garb, but he prized 2 Trubbish, so I was able to take this game very easily. Game two, it came down to the wire, where he ended me to 2. I had 8 cards in deck, and 2 of them were DCE, and I whiffed, so I gave him a Zoroark, and I said, you have to kill the Zoroark, and if you don't, because I didn't have any X on the board, I said, here's the Zoroark, if you don't kill the Zoroark, you're giving me time to knock you out, but he paralleled me down 20, and then he passed. He did knock out my Zoroark because that would give me exact damage to knock him out. So I top decked the DCE, attached the DCE, Sycamored my hand away for the rest of the deck and put the forest down. So I had the game effectively anyway. But yeah, so that was a close game with Eeyore. Always a pleasure playing him. So I'm at 6-1. I decided not to take any chances and ID with my last 2 opponents, both playing Mega Mewtwo. The last round being Travis, my friend from the Hovercast TCG, a very close friend. So we took the tie. We moved into day 2, 20 dash points. Day's awesome. I'm feeling pretty good. The deck has been running relatively well. I've only had a couple of badish starts, but either opponents' ends or just eventually drawing out of it because I play 4 Unknown, 4 Acro, 4 Ultra, 4 Sycamore. I have a lot of outs to get out of things. About a third of my deck is just draw cards, purely. So I feel pretty confident with going into day two. A lot of people told me not to ID my last two. Let's just play it out. You're going for the win, and I said I feel very comfortable with a lot of the matchups posed towards me for tomorrow, and I think I have a good shot at taking this tournament. I just have to run well and hit the right matchups, and I should be fine. Matchups I did not want to play against were John Kettler playing Decidueye Vileplume. That would be very annoying for me. Another matchup I did not want to hit is Kenny Britton playing Darkrai Giratina. Yeah, that's a pretty bad matchup because of Giratina. Chaos Switch kind of kills me. It's over. But yeah. So at the end of the day, when we went to the packing house, it was very very cool of a place. It reminded me of the marketplace in Columbus and the Reading Terminal Market in Philly. It was very very cool with all the bunch of food options. So we all just split up, got what we wanted, ate. I got the shaved ice thing. It was like this big for like $4, and it was like a bunch of strawberries, ice cream, nuts, and then it was like shaved ice under the ice cream, and in the shaved ice there was like like a little bit of gelato, and then like a ton of more strawberries, and I was like, it doesn't end. There was so much food. It was delicious though. Went back to the hotel room by like 11, and within seconds, myself, Ryan, and Michael Slutsky were all asleep. We just passed out. We were dead tired. Um, a couple others came back, and I know they passed out instantly too. So day two, we're rolling out. A lot of us from our collective rooms, made it. Myself, Azul, Jose, and Jose Morera sneaking in with Gyarados, attaboy, and Ryan. All four of us had to play, so we get ready, we sit down. Round one goes up. I'm up against Rainbow Road. I was on 20 match points, sorry. So with 20 match points, 31 was secure, 30 is bubble. So I needed to go 3-0-2 or 4-1 on the day. Or 3-1-1 technically to be on bubble, but yeah. So first round I go against Rainbow Road. Game one I prized double combi, and that led to me losing the game because I ultra balled and I couldn't get another combi onto my field. And pretty much I had to go Zoroark and hope it wins me the game. I Zoroarked to go down to 2 prizes, and I got the combi off the prizes, and I had the Forest in play. But he had a Galvantula on his, he had a Joltik on his bench, and I had 2 Shavens with 60 damage, and I had end him to 2 cards, and he had a draw for the turn, and in his 3 cards he drew Galvantula, DC, and something else. I don't think it was a playable card, and so I lost instantly there. Pretty unfortunate for me. Game 2, I set up the way I'm supposed to and beat Rainbow Road. It's a very favorable matchup, actually. Then game 3, I had set up and I was steamrolling him. I needed one more turn to announce the attack B revenge, and I would have won the game. But alas, we did not have the time to finish, so I was gifted a tie. So it's starting the out with a tie felt pretty scary because a loss could spell my doom, which is unfortunate. But then I played against Jeffrey Cheng. Correct. I played against Jeffrey Cheng, eventual top 4 finisher. He was playing Vespiquen, Zoroark Eeveelutions with Mew as well. So he was playing pretty much a similar list to mine. It was a hybrid of mine and Fitting and Lynch's list. He played like 1 Paint Roller, Parallels, and Skyfield, but I think optimally the Forest was better. So we played game 1. Game 1 I got up really far, so he scooped. Game 2 I was dead drawing. I drew past with a Tauros active for a couple turns. And he was barely chipping away at it, and I was trying to get something set up because Tauros is pretty beefy, and if I just get a DC, I'm in the game. But I didn't draw anything for 3 or 4 turns, and I picked up my cards. Game 3, I did pretty much the same thing. Promoted Tauros, took a prize on my first turn. And then he Zoroarked into it, thinking that I would just kill the Zoroark. And so I Life Center just Shaman and Mad Bolt it, taking it out. So I pretty much was like up 3 prizes at that point, and no matter how many times he ended me, I had to do Rangaroo, so I wasn't gonna brick. And in the mirror, that's what happens. It's once one player gets in, doesn't have to bench a Shaman, it's over. So I'm at 23 match points. I'm up against my good friend Travis Nonetheless that I ID'd with the day before, and I knew from talking to him and others that he played a 1/1 Espeon GX tech in his Mega Mewtwo, mainly for the Divide GX attack that destroys like Vespiquen and other decks. It sets up the 10 damage counters, which is nutty, and also beats the Mega Mewtwo Mirror, which is pretty cool because he's a very beefy guy. So I go up against him. Game 1, I set up properly. He doesn't really, and I win because of the Mew. Game 2 was absolutely disgusting. I think it was the hottest I've drawn that entire tournament. It had to have been. So he goes first. He sets up his field. He retreats his Eevee or his Espeon into a Mewtwo EX, a naked Mewtwo EX, and passes with a Trubbish Floatstone on his bench, an Espeon GX energy. And so I pop off on my turn 1, and I manage to get a Vespiquen, for a Forest Vespiquen, DC on a Mew, retreat, knock him out with Mew. So I took a knockout with Mew on my very first turn, going second. 2 prizes. He brings up Espeon, attaches DCE, ends me. No, he doesn't end me. Sorry, he doesn't end me. He sycamores to get more stuff, gets more stuff, puts him on the bench, and then Divide GX is my Zoroark and Combi, taking 2 knockouts, leaving my board with a Mew. He has Garb out. Now I have a Mew under parallel or Garb lock, and I have a Vespiquen. That is my entire board. I sycamore hand away. I think of like I had like a 10, 11 card hand at this point. So I toss everything. There was like 6 Pokemon and like 5 supporter cards. In draw my hand of blah blah blah. Hit an Ultra Ball with 2 more things. Get another Combi. Retreat my Mew, and then I was able to one-shot the Espeon GX on my second turn under Garbodor lock, which was insane. Never should happen. So I got that knockout. And then, yeah, that was that game. I dirtied Travis. There's no other way to put it. I never drawn so hot in my life. So I miscalculated. I'm at 27 match points now. Sorry, math's hard. And so I know I need to win one of my next 2 to be on the bubble at the very least. So I could play for a tie wherever. But I got paired up against Waterbox, and from what I've heard, he's playing no Shamans, like a bunch of weird cards. He got 17th. He's playing a bunch of weird stuff, like 3 enhanced hammers and stuff. And Connor Fenton lost to him the round before playing Vespiquen, but I had Tex. I had the Mew, I had the Tauros, so I wasn't gonna lose that matchup. And so I just kind of set up behind them, took my sweet time, and I used Tauros to put in work, and then I just set up behind Vespiquen and I won the game. And then so I'm locked into cut at this point, 30 match points. I did it both games to him actually, which was pretty easy. Game 1 was a little risky because I had Mew priced, but yeah. Game 2, yeah, easy. Apologies. And then I was able to go up against Igor again, and we took the tie. And I went to go chill for a little bit. And so I looked at the decks that could potentially make cut, and barring playing against Kenny Britton, playing Dark Tina, I would have a very good matchup across the board. And then I played against Kenny, and boy, oh boy, Dark Tina's not a good matchup. It's about a 30-70. He was bricking. Unfortunately, I was bricking game 1. Gave me a shot to come back into the game because he was bricking, because I was able to take, I think, 2 prizes very quickly. And then he did some things, and then I did some things. Killed his Tina the moment it hit the board. Because I was ahead, and so he was forced to Darkrai me, and then I believe I killed a Darkrai Tina and an Oblivion Winger, and then he had 1 Oblivion Winger left, and I had 1 Vespiquen and a Combi left, and he knocked my Vespiquen out with a Darkness Blade, and then I Ultra Balled for the Vespiquen, having game in hand, but my last Vespiquen was my prize, so I lost, unfortunately. I thought that was the game I could steal. If I could steal that, then I can try to cheese one somewhere. And then game 2, he set up near perfectly on his board, and I had a suboptimal setting set up, but I got the Mew with a DC on it, which the Mew is very important in that matchup for those who don't know, because the Mew has 120 HP, and that means Giratina X cannot one-shot it. Yeah. So I pretty much did that, and then I knew the Mew was going to get knocked out in 2 hits from a Giratina. He had a second Giratina on his bench ready to go, pretty much. So I said to myself, I have to Lysander the bench Giratina that has 2 Darkness energies on it, because there's a DD on the field and 2 DDs in the discard. So I need to bank on the fact that he doesn't hit his 4th. And if he doesn't, I have another turn of DCE, which is all I need to win this game. Um, he did. He had the DD in his hand. So he put it down. And he chaos willed me. I drew. I killed the Giratina. Then he put it down and chaos willed me, and then I lost and then I life centered his Darkrai, and then he escape roped, and then I life centered his Darkrai, and I looked through my deck and I was out of resources, and I think I had two prizes left again. So I just needed to either take a knockout on that Tina that turn or just get another DCE down and the game would have been over. But unfortunately for me, it's a bad matchup, and that's the way it's supposed to fall. But it was really close games against Kenny. He knew how to play it. I knew how to play it. It was very close, and I was very happy with this whole deck. So I'll explain. I mean, you're looking at the deck. I don't think I should really explain counts. I jumped in my report with talking about the deck. I'm silly, dude. 2-on-1 Eeveeline, one Oranguru. Card was very, 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 very good all weekend. Very good. I would 100% love this card. Three Shamans. Tauros was very good because a lot of times I just push it up, and my opponents would. I would Ultra Ball for Shaman almost 100%, or Tauros 100% of the time turn one. Push it up into the active spot, and my opponents would just go past because they didn't want to hit into the Tauros. And that gave me time, and if you give Vespiquen time, they'll one-shot anything on the game. Zoroark, it enabled all these fat guys because I could just go Zoroark, Floatstone, and then I could rush and retreat. Only two Klefkis were a little risky if I expected Guardy and Ray, but I didn't, so. For Vespi, one Mew, very, very, very clutch throughout the whole day. Four Unknown, the Trainer Engine is very stable. Four Acro, two Revitalizer. I played two Revitalizer because at the end of the day, this is a Vespiquen deck, not a and Friends deck. And I played two Forest, which means the combo potential is insane there. If I played another Stadium other than Forest, I think I would have played either Buddy Buddy or Super Rod. But yeah, everything else is incredibly standard. I know I haven't been talking much, but I'll try to play a couple more videos this week for you guys. But I'm probably gonna be interviews more than anything, just because I'm behind on. I have to do schoolwork and stuff. And St. Louis is coming up as well, right around the corner. Good God. Um, it was a pleasure meeting a lot of you guys this weekend. Thank you for everyone who came up and said, like, thank you for the good work, blah blah blah. Like, it meant a lot to me. It really did. And I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. Now I'm around 300 I'm at 272 championship points. I'm feeling pretty good. That's a very comfortable position to be in, I think. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't have much else to say. I hope you guys liked my list. I hope you guys will use it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later.